Today we have the new release from GPT 4.1 in the API. This literally just came out a few hours ago, like you can see right here. And this is a new series of GPT models featuring major improvements on coding. Now, this is the first thing to note about the whole update is that it's specifically focused on coding. And this is specifically in the API. If you actually go to ChatGPT, from what I can see, it's not actually available inside there. So if we go on the drop down, you can see inside the list, there is no 4.1 there. There's GPT 4.5 still, but there is no 4.1, which is kind of weird. But basically, this is mostly focused on coding. I want to show you today how you can build anything and also how you can get free access to this model, because despite it being an API, you can get free access, and I'll come on to that later. So they've basically said today we're launching 3 new models in the API: GPT 4.1, GPT 4.1 mini, and GPT 4.1 nano. So there are 3 different models here. And these models outperform GPT 4.0 and GPT 4.0 mini across the board with major gains in coding and instruction following. They also have larger context windows. From what I've tested, it's ridiculously fast at replying, but we'll come on to that later. And if you're wondering, okay, how does this perform on benchmarks? So you can see for coding, GPT 4.1 scores 54.6% on SWE bench verified, improving by 21.4% over GPT 4.0 and 26.6% over GPT 4.5, which is interesting, right? So it's a lot better than GPT 4.5 for coding, as you can see right here. In terms of instruction following on scales multi-challenge benchmark, a measure of instruction following ability, GPT 4.1 is superior over GPT 4.0. All right, so there's some big improvements here. In terms of long context on video MME, a benchmark for multimodal long context understanding, GPT 4.1 scored 72% on the long, no subtitles, a 6.7% improvement over GPT 4.0. So basically, this is a huge improvement over GPT 4.0, and apparently, according to the benchmarks, it's also outperforming GPT 4.5. Trying to figure out, okay, what does this mean in terms of, like, where are we going in terms of the numbers here? Because we're going up and down like a yo-yo. GPT 4.5, then 4.0, then 4.1, etc. But here we are, my friends. All right. So the GPT 4.1 family intelligence by latency, you can see the differences here. So you've got GPT 4.1 nano at the bottom, and then you have GPT 4.1, the main model, over at the top over here. Now, if you want to get access to this, one of the easiest ways is just go over to OpenRouter, and you can actually add a model. So you can use GPT 4.1, and then you can add different models over here. If we have a look at the latest models, we've got 3 different options. So we have 4.1, 4.1 mini, 4.1 nano. Now, you can see the differences in prices here. So 0.1 per million input tokens, 0.4 per million input tokens, and then $2. All right, so you see the prices right there. And these support a 1 million token context window, which is absolutely huge versus previous context windows from OpenAI. And here are the prices. This is also available inside RuCode, Klein, OpenRouter, of course, Kilo Code, etc. So if you do want to use it, if you want to use it like ChatGPT inside the chat, then just go to OpenRouter, find the model that you want to use, because obviously there's 3, and then you can click on chat over here and decide which one you want to use it. And I'll also be testing this against Claude 3.7 Sonnet as well in a later video. So let's keep going through now. So these improvements in instruction following reliability and long context comprehension also make the 4.1 models considerably more effective at powering agents. Now, 2025 is the year of agents, and I can understand why they're starting to release models just for coding, because that's where everything is going. If you look at the way the world is going, everything is revolving around agents, building apps, building tools, etc. And this just probably is more optimized for that, more efficient for that, and more powerful for building out better quality agents with ChatGPT. What else we got here? They've also said that they're going to begin deprecating GPT 4.5 preview in the API, right? And the reason for that is that GPT 4.1 offers improved or similar performance on many key capabilities, but it's lower cost and it's lower latency. All right, so GPT 4.5 preview is actually going to be turned off in 3 months. Something to bear in mind if you've built stuff already around GPT 4.5. And what's interesting here is like, they've said we'll continue to carry forward the creativity, writing quality, humor, and nuance you told us you appreciate in GPT 4.5 into future API models. Now, they've also broken this down with alpha testers. And this is really interesting because Windsurf have actually offered free API usage of ChatGPT 4.1. So if you go over to Windsurf, I'll be showing you how to build stuff later today. But if you go into Windsurf over here, and I'm on the free plan, you'll see from the drop down, you can select all these different options. And the main one you want to focus on is GPT 4.1. And that's free for a limited time to write and chat directly inside Windsurf, which is absolutely awesome. So if you want to get free access to this, if you want to build for free using ChatGPT, then you can use Windsurf. I may compare this as well against Gemini 2.5 Pro as well as Claude, because it's going to be interesting to see. My personal favorite for coding right now is actually, I would say it's a tie between Claude 3.7 Sonnet and Gemini 2.5 Pro and Claude 3.7 Sonnet. Gemini is typically a lot faster, but you hit the limits faster as well. And if you can code with all three for free for now with Windsurf as well, then that's absolutely awesome, right? So let's keep going through now. We've got the SWE bench verified accuracy. GPT 4.1 is right at the top there in terms of accuracy. And this is a model basically where a model is given a code repository and issue description and must generate a patch to solve the issue, right? Performance is highly dependent on the prompts and tools used, blah, blah, blah. But basically, this is outperforming all the previous models on the same benchmark test. And apparently, this is much better for editing large files. So, I mean, the good thing about this is, you could use it locally. You could build with Visual Studio Code or Windsurf, and because it's editing like a large set files, it should be better and more accurate at doing that. In terms of the ADA polyglot benchmark accuracy, you can see GPT 4.1 right here. This is actually not outperforming OpenAI 01, so just bear that in mind. And O3 Mini as well is still outperforming GPT 4.1 in terms of polyglot accuracy. Let's keep going through now. Here's an example of ChatGPT 4.0 versus GPT 4.1. So basically, this is a prompt to make a web application flashcard, right? So it's a flashcard web application. The user should be able to create flashcards, search through their existing, kind of like Anki sort of thing, like an app style. And you can see the differences in the UI right here. So if you have a look here, the UI is just a lot nicer on this side versus this one. This is 4.0, this is 4.1. And the quality is better, right? This one is a lot more simplified when you actually look at the responses right there. So we got some real world examples. So Windsurf have said and Windsurf is kind of like Visual Studio Code. It's similar, has some better features, but we'll come on to that later. And Windsurf have said GPT 4.1 scores 60% higher than GPT 4.0 on Windsurf's internal coding benchmarks, which correlate strongly with how often code changes are accepted on the first review. The users noted it was 30% more efficient in tool calling and about 50% less likely to repeat unnecessary edits, right? So it's basically just a lot better coded and more efficient. Here's another one from Kodo. Instruction following is supposed to be a lot better. This is a huge page, by the way. If you look, like there's so much to this. There's so many different benchmarks and statistics and that sort of thing, which is really interesting. And then you can see here we've got the other models. But yeah, basically this is it. Now, if you want to see the reaction, what's the reaction so far? So this is the tweet from Sam Altman. Again, this just came out like literally a few hours ago, as you can see. So Sam Altman says GPT 4.1 and Mini and Nano are now available in the API. These models are great at coding, instruction following, and long context, 1 million tokens. Benchmarks are strong, but we focused on real-world utility, and developers seem very happy. GPT 4.1 family is API only. But again, if you want to work around that, if you want to start using it inside the chat, then just go to OpenRouter. All right. So all the video notes, by the way, inside the AI Profit Boardroom, as you can see right here. And if you go inside OpenRouter, you can start using it, and you can even connect it to web search right here. So if we say, okay, what happened today, 15th of April, 2025, we're using GPT 4.1. If we hit enter, that should be connected to the web, and we should be able to use this as a chat model, not just for APIs, all right? As you can see, it started finding the details here, and you can use it inside the chat. It's super fast when it replies. It's absolutely awesome for that. Thomas Reuters have also been using it for AI assistance, that sort of thing. MMU accuracy, so here's some more benchmarks. GPT 4.1 is outperforming 4.0, but OpenAI 0.1 is still outperforming it, right? So these models are still more powerful. GPT 4.5 is on par for MMU accuracy, MMMU accuracy, that is, my friend. And then you got Maths Vista accuracy over here. So it's tied with pretty much everything. 4.1 and 4.1 mini are performing pretty well right there. And here we go. Now, if you're wondering, okay, what's the pricing? Here's the comparison of each. So in terms of, where is it now? Where's that pricing gone? Here we go. Here we go. All right. So model, you got 4.1, 4.1 mini, and 4.1 nano, right? So nano is way, way cheaper versus 4.1 mini and versus 4.1. So the full model, like full power, is pretty expensive. But if you use a nano version, it's cheap as chips, mate, isn't it? It's cheap as absolute chips right there. And then overall, we've given a nice little conclusion, which is GPT 4.1 is a significant step forward in the practical application of AI by following real-world developer needs. All right. So let's see what it could do. Let's take this bad boy for a spin. We're gonna have a cheeky gander now. I'll use it for free inside Windsurf because I know that's what the peeps want to see at home. We're gonna open it up. Here we go. I don't know why OpenAI, it gets a lot of hate. They get so much hate these days, to be honest with you. But we're just going to give this a cheeky whirl. So I'm going to open up a folder over here, and we'll set up a new folder, and we'll just try and create like a 3JS runner game. Just see what happens, all right? We'll grab one of the prompts from the AI Profit Boardroom, because that is the place to go for prompts, my friends. So what we can do is if we go down here, and we'll take an Optimus Alpha prompt. Let's see what we got. We're going to create a dinosaur game. We'll grab this prompt. We'll go back into Windsurf. Inside the write section, so you want to make sure you use write, and then also select GPT 4.1. By the way, use dark mode in Windsurf because light mode is absolutely terrible. All right, and then we're going to say, make me a captivating, endless runner game. Key instructions on the screen. P5JS scene, no HTML. I like pixelated dinosaurs and interesting backgrounds. We're going to give that a cheeky whirl now. We'll hit enter, and we'll see what we get back. So it's going to start generating now. And we'll see what we get back in a second. Well, you can also do the same inside OpenRouter chat. So if you go inside OpenRouter, again, depending on which one you select, I would go for Nano if you know, a bit of a cheapskate on a budget. Go inside the chat here, plug in the prompt, and then hit enter, and you're good to go on that, my friends. So it's beginning to generate that. It does say the request is taking longer than expected. I can imagine so many people have jumped onto Windsurf and just started rinsing it for credits. But we seem to have got that back. All right, so we've got the P5JS here. Let's grab that. Then what we're going to do is we'll go over to P5JS editor, and we'll just hit play on that. And there we go. We have the game ready to go. Let's see what we got here. Oh, it's incredible, isn't it? I mean, it was pretty fast, to be fair. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't lie to you. Like, that is really fast. And we just built a game for free using P5JS and Windsurf. And you know exactly how to do it. If you want the prompt for that, go inside the AI Profit Boardroom. It is a place to be. And prices are going up this month. So make sure you sign up now before you miss out. So that's basically it. That's how you can use this whole model. And it's pretty simple and easy to build. We'll build some more stuff in a sec. But yeah, there'll be more videos coming on like how to build things with ChatGPT. And I'll put all the prompts inside the AI Profit Boardroom. If you actually want a bunch of, if you want a community that's focused on making money, saving time, and growing with AI, growing your business, feel free to get the AI Profit Boardroom. It's an amazing community. Comes with all my best SOPs, tips, templates, workflows, etc. Like you can see right here. And if you want to get my workflows for basically building anything with ChatGPT 4.1, you can get that inside here. It's got like many different SOPs. Like you can see tons of different SOPs, including how to use Windsurf, Bolt DIY client directly in the chat, made.com, and Rucode with ChatGPT 4.1. Also, you can ask in the community here any questions you have, and additionally, just jump on the weekly Q&A calls, which also get recorded if you can't make them. So make sure you sign up now before you miss out. And if you want a free one-to-one SEO strategy session that shows you how to grow your business with SEO, feel free to get that. We'll show you how to retail websites from 0 to 145,000 visitors a month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot. And on this free link building acceleration session, you'll get a custom tailored game plan to save you hundreds of hours with SEO and get you more free leads, sales, and profits using this. All right. So you can jump on the call. It's based on what works for all our clients, like you can see right here. Jump on the call, ask any questions you have, and you can book that in directly inside the chat here. What else we got on the questions here? Light mode, in which app website is worth anyways? Yeah, I would agree. Can you try make a modern website? We'll do that in a bit. Is GenSpark still your favorite chat model, fam? It's definitely my favorite AI agent. It's just so easy to use. It's absolutely insane. GenSpark is good. Murat agrees. Mateo says GenSpark, how it doesn't break all the time for you guys. Got a paid version, but stop using it. I've heard a lot of people say it breaks, but so far so good. And Shibam says hi from Africa. Good to see you here. Perplexity just released a new model. I haven't checked that out. Murat says another trash model from OpenAI. It does get so much hate, OpenAI. It's absolutely brutal. I'm using Cursor plus Gemini 2.5 Pro, and it's better than Claude, at least on my project. Murat says, I prefer Cursor for local working. I'm loving Visual Studio Code, honestly. All these tools are pretty good. So, you know, choose what you want. So in a minute, I'll show you exactly how GPT 4.1 is used in terms of how to build anything with it. We'll come on to that in a second. And Heavy T says, I have a client for my AI automation agency that I need help with. How would you go about finding help? Fiverr.com. Yeah, we've got tons of training on that and on the AI Profit Board. And we sell AI automation as well. So if you want to learn how we sell it, you know, our best tips, we have tons of clients on retainer for like $2,000 a month, $1,500 a month selling AI automation. So if you want to learn how we do it, how we sell it, etc., then you can jump in the AI Profit Boardroom link in the comments and description. All right. GPT 4.1, how to build anything. So today I'm going to show you how to build anything using GPT 4.1, and I'll show you how to do it for free, because there is a free way to use GPT 4.1, even though it is a brand new API. It's outperforming ChatGPT 4.0 in many of the benchmarks, and it is specifically for coding, which is going to make it great for building stuff out. You can see this literally just came out like 4 hours ago. Here's the announcement from Sam Altman, and you can see that announcement was just 4 hours ago. All right, so we're getting straight back into this bad boy, and I'm going to show you how to build anything using this. You can see that it's enabled inside Cursor, inside Visual Studio Code, and inside Windsurf, right? So Windsurf, for the next 7 days, you will get free unlimited GPT 4.1 on Windsurf. So you don't pay for it, they'll be paying for the API. And this has just been announced. Now, there are 3 different models: GPT 4.1, 4.1 mini, and 4.1 nano. You might be wondering, okay, what's the difference between them? Let me break it down for you peeps, all right? And so basically, here's the difference. And the main difference here is like they're all different levels of power. So you got 4.1 mini, nano, and you've also got 4.1. All right. Now 4.1 is a lot more expensive to code with versus using 4.1 nano. So you can see there's a huge difference in pricing right here in terms of the costs. So for example, 0.10 versus $2 for 4.1, huge difference. So if you want to code for cheap, use 4.1 nano. If you want to code for free, use Windsurf. Windsurf is available. I'm on the free plan. I actually just built this P5JS game using 4.1. So let me open this up, show you exactly what it means. So we'll plug in this code that we built from Windsurf. We'll hit play on that. And this is a nice little game that we built right here, as you can see. And literally built that in one single prompt. So it's a one-shot, one-take Drake. As you can see, we said, make me a captivating, endless runner game. Key instructions on the screen: P5JS scene, no HTML. I like pixelated dinosaurs and interesting backgrounds. Boom shakalaka. It coded it for us, and it coded it for free. And then we can just preview it on p5js.org, as you can see. All right. So if you want to build anything using GPT 4.1, let me show you exactly how to use this. So the first method is for free inside Windsurf. Honestly, I would say for 95% of you watching this, this is probably going to be the best and the easiest way. So all you need to do is you go to Codium. All right, we've got a full recipe inside the AI Profit Boardroom, as you can see right here, if you want to get access to this. So if you want to get it, you can download it from Codium. I've got all my best prompts, etc., inside this recipe for Windsurf, like you can see, and a full video tutorial on this as well. But essentially, if we go inside Windsurf here, we'll open up a new window, and we'll open up a new folder. We'll say, okay, SEO website, for example. And then I'm going to use a custom GPT from the AI Profit Boardroom, which is Prompt Forge. So let's type in Prompt Forge inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Again, link to this is inside the comments and description of this video. And then inside here, we're going to start using this. So I'm going to say to Prompt Forge, give me a prompt for my SEO agency, Goldie Agency, to generate a beautiful modern landing page for Goldie Agency inside, and we'll just say Windsurf. So now it's going to ask us, like, who's our audience, what's our main offer, etc. So I'm going to say SEO link building is our main offer, and we can just include that. But I'm just going to copy this prompt for the sake of speed. I'm not going to answer all the questions, but we'll grab that prompt like so, and then we're going to go back into Windsurf over here. Then we're going to go to write mode. So make sure you're in write mode, not chat. All right, so you can switch between them like that. Then inside the write, paste in the prompt here. We've got that from Prompt Forge. We'll hit enter like so. and we are using GPT 4.1. So you can see here it says GPT 4.1 free limited time. I'm sure there'll still be people that comment and say GPT 4.1 is not free on this video, but you can see it is free for a limited time, all right? And that's 7 days. So I've shown you how to build games in P5.js using Windsurf. Now let's have a look at how to build landing pages and websites, all right? So it's starting to build that off. It's coding that bad boy, and we'll see what it does. Some people are actually saying 4.1 is really bad in cursor. Let's see what the reactions are whilst that's building out on Twitter. So see what people are building with it, etc. See what's trending. So we can actually, this is a good tweet. You can actually see the models compared here. So in terms of intelligence, 4.1 Nano has the least intelligence apparently. Of course, 4.1, the full powered mode, has the highest level of intelligence. Nano is actually a lot faster than the rest of the models. So you can see here, performs a lot better on speed. This is a great tweet by Alvaro, by the way. Max output tokens, 32,000. And knowledge cutoff is to June 2024. But when you're coding, you can use, for example, like Windsurf. Windsurf has a search feature, it can search the web. And also you can use something like Perplexity. And inside Perplexity, you can actually connect an MCP server. So you just go to Visual Studio Code, connect the MCP server from Perplexity. I've got a tutorial inside the AI Profit Boardroom if you need to learn how to do that. It's way outside the scope of this video, but essentially, yeah, you can do that. All right. So now we've built that out. Let's accept this. And let's see what we get. We're going to accept all those file changes here. And then I'm going to say, let me preview this. Let me preview the website. We'll see what we get back. So we've got that ready to preview here. We'll copy the local host. We can also open up the preview as well inside the chat here. It's not bad. It's not bad. Let's have a look. So this is the website that we just coded out with ChatGPT 4.1. It's okay. I mean, like, honestly, look at the color scheme here. It doesn't make any sense. You got orange on white. That button is terrible. I'm gonna have to have some serious words with 4.1 in a second. So let's go back to Windsurf now. And I'm gonna say, make the colors more contrasting, improve the design and UI to make it look more modern. What else? Add more content to the page based on what you know about Julian Goldie. Design it more sleek, etc. And we'll see what we get back there. I'm honestly not impressed with that output at all, to be honest with you. The copyright itself is not bad, but the design, the UI is just absolute trash, isn't it? Absolute. Look at that white space. We've got a big white space there. It doesn't make any sense. So we'll see what we get back in a second. Honestly, I think if you used exactly the same prompt inside, for example, bulk.new, even Firebase Studio, if you use that inside DeepSight, for example, DeepSight would give you a better output. All right, and that's a free tool that you can use to build stuff. Let me show you exactly how that works. So we've gone to DeepSight, link in the AI Profit Boardroom if you want to learn how to use this and get access to it. It's also got a full tutorial inside there too. But if we go inside DeepSight, you're going to get better outputs than 4.1 for sure. All right, so we'll wait for that to load in a second. I think it's actually going to be faster, but we'll see in a second. So you can see DeepSight is coding that out. Already you can see like the colors just make a bit more sense. And now we've got an error. So you can see there's a big error right here from 4.1. Let's have a look at, I mean, look at that. That's a free coder. It looks a zillion, 1 zillion times better. Like if you just compare the preview here versus 4.1. It's obvious which one is better. All right, so we'll wait for those to code out. The other thing that you can do here, this is quite interesting because, you know, ChatGPT 4.1 is not available on ChatGPT, right? If you want to use 4.1, you have to code a bit. But if you go to OpenRouter, so if you go to OpenRouter, inside GPT 4.1's models here, we can select between these different models. And we can, for example, go to 4.1 and then go to the chat. And then you can start building directly inside the chat right here. So for example, let's say I was like, right, research GPT 4.1 and everything about that based on the news today. All right. Now, because it's connected to web search, it can start using the internet to find all the base knowledge on that, like you can see right here. And then based on that, we can say, okay, create a beautiful, simple one-page lander in HTML about this topic with all your research nicely designed. Let's add a few emojis. All right, we'll hit enter. And then we can use the research from 4.1 and start coding out a HTML file based on that. Now let's go back to DeepSight. So DeepSight is looking way better than Windsurf as well. We'll come back to that later. So it's working its magic. It does take a little bit of time. That's more like it. That's more like it. I mean, it's not great, to be honest with you, but it's better. So I'm going to say, okay, let me preview this. We'll run that command. But it definitely looks 10 times better now. So let's open up the preview. We can open it up in external browser. That has totally failed on us. Let's go back to Windsurf. Oh, heavens to Betsy, look at that. That was terrible. Let's see what we got back now. Absolute trash. So let's open up the preview here. It actually gave me a preview before. I don't know why it's not giving me a preview now. I'm just in the screenshots and say fix this, mate. So if you get any errors, just copy the image and say fix this, sunshine. Wait for that to come back. But DeepSight never lets you down. I mean, look at that. You can pay for GPT 4.1, or you can just build something in one shot that looks 10 times better, like you can see right here. That's what you're looking for from DeepSight. This, I mean, it's crazy the difference. This is completely free again. You can just get the free tool from the AI Profit Boardroom, link in there and the full recipe and everything like that. But that just looks 10 times better than what we've built with ChatGPT 4.1, which is this broken code. All right, so we've got the HTML back from OpenRouter now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to LiveWeave and we'll test this bad boy out. And that's how you can build landing pages and connect GPT 4.1 to the internet. It actually seems to code something better inside OpenRouter than it does inside Windsurf from what I've seen. But yeah, this looks pretty nice. I mean, obviously you can improve the design and you can make it more modern, etc. But for a nice breakdown of ChatGPT and all the key statistics, based on the research that we did inside the chat, that was 10 times better. 10 times better. All right, let's go back to Windsurf now. We'll accept all those changes. I'm going to say, let me preview this. We'll open it up. Is that still going to break on us? No, thankfully. All right, so that looks 10 times better now. It's also done the research on us, so 100K YouTube subscribers, 10 million views, 300% average organic growth. Nice design and branded. You see how it contrasts right there? It's still not perfect, so for some reason it's not inserted the images, and also I've never been featured on Authority. I might have been featured on Authority Acolyte once, I think. We've got the about information, meet Julian Goldie, blah, blah, blah. Some nice icons. All right, that was better. It's still not great. Honestly, I think if you're going to build a website, like, you can get better outputs with other stuff. But it's not bad at all. For something free, not bad at all. I don't like the contrasting colors. Like, it doesn't seem to be very good with UI. But yeah. And yeah, if you join the AI Profit Boardroom, you can get all of my best automations. Plus, you can meet tons of people who are doing automations as well. So there's a really active community, tons of people posting inside the AI Profit Boardroom, like you can see right here, and everyone getting answers to their questions pretty quickly as well. So if you ever get stuck, you can ask 670 members anything you want about AI and get help right there. All right, so let's keep going through this now. So we've covered how to build anything for free inside Windsurf. We've covered DeepSight. We've covered, for example, the chat inside OpenRouter. Another way that you can do this is you can actually use something like RouCode. So if we open up Visual Studio Code, again, I have a full SOP on installing and setting up RouCode inside the AI Profit Boardroom. But basically, you're going to go to extensions, install RouCode, and this is a pretty awesome tool for coding. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to our settings. We'll select OpenRouter. Then inside here, we're going to set GPT 4.1, and we get 4 different options here. So 4.1, sorry, 3 different options, 4.1, mini, and nano. We'll go with 4.1 just because I want to give you the full Monty. I want to give you the full sort of explanation of how this works and what you can do with it, etc. And then if we say, okay, I need to build a keyword research tool. So what we can do here is we can go back to Prompt Forge, and we'll say, right, okay. And by the way, Prompt Forge is inside the AI Profit Boardroom. We'll say, give me a prompt for generating an amazing keyword research tool for SEO. And again, like, it will ask you a bunch of questions if you want to add more detail in that, or you can just get this basic prompt right here ready to go. All right. So we're going to go back inside Visual Studio Code over here. We'll plug that in. I'm going to remove the API bit. I'm going to say create this in one single HTML file just to make it easier for speed things up. We don't want another Windsurf situation where we're going back and forth for 10 minutes. So we'll close Windsurf now as well. Some people are asking, is RouCode better than Cursor? I really like, I don't mind Cursor. Like, I think I have it open actually. If we open up Cursor here, we can start coding with it. Cursor is pretty good, to be fair. I don't do many videos about it on YouTube because no one cares about the videos that I make on it. Like, it doesn't get much interest. But yeah, you can use Cursor. So for example, if we open up a new chat here, we can start using that directly. Maybe I'll come on to that in a second, but for now, we're just going to focus on RouCode. If you do want a full tutorial on Cursor and setting up MCPs with Cursor as well, then get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom, like you can see right here. So let's now go back to Visual Studio Code. The thing I like about Visual Studio Code as well is it just codes for me in the background. You can see it's already finished. We can open that up. And now we've got the keyword research tool ready to go and switch between light mode and dark mode. That was incredibly fast to build. We can plug in our keywords. We can resize this as well. So for example, SEO, link building, hit analyze, and we've got a bunch of keyword ideas right there. All right, so SEO link building 2025, link building for beginners, software, etc., link building guide. If we're actually going to Google, we'll just check people actually searching that. So let's have a look what we've got here. Yeah, as you can see, it comes up with relevant keywords. And the other thing about this as well is that you could get it to plug in your own API key here. So if we say, okay, allow me to insert my ChatGPT API key plus generate keyword ideas using the API plus improve the UI so it's more sleek and modern. And there we go. We're going to hit AI. So I'm just going to generate the prompt with AI to improve it. So you just click that AI button down here, and then we'll hit enter like so, and that will just go off and do its magic. All right. So now it's rewriting the code, improving the CSS, etc. As you can see. And by the way, like I'm not a coder, I can't code at all. I would have no idea what I'm doing without AI. But the beautiful thing about this is, you know, you can use something like GPT 4.1 and just start coding with it. It's pretty simple and easy. And again, like it's not costing a lot of money right there. You can see the API cost over here. It's definitely cheaper than 4.5, for example. You can also code in multiple windows. So you could open up a new window here and set up multiple projects in the meantime and start building with that. But yeah, so far you've seen how to build, you know, tools, websites, etc., using GPT 4.1. In the meantime, whilst we're waiting for that to load, let me show you some other stuff we can do with this. So what we can also do is we can use Klein directly, and we can use Bulk DIY directly. All right, I have a full recipe inside the AI Profit Boardroom if you want to get access to that, if you want to learn how to set this up. But it's pretty simple and easy to get Bulk Local set up directly using this, and I have a full video tutorial as well inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Let's wait for that to load. So that is coding out right now. Let's hit save on that. You also get these nice checkpoints inside root code as well, so you can revert back if you want to, and then we can open this up. We can select one of the drop downs and analyze it like so. We can also click on generate with ChatGPT, plug in the API key here, and then it should allow us to generate keywords with the API as well. So let me log in. If you ever want to grab an API key, it's pretty simple. Just go to dashboard, then go to API keys, and you can just create a new secret key over here. We'll copy that and then we'll delete it straight afterwards. We've plugged in our API key. Is that going to, yeah, look at that. So we used the generate with ChatGPT option here, plugged in our API key, and it created some much better ideas. So that's what you want really. And then you've got a bunch of ideas right here. All right. I would take the data with a pinch of salt, but essentially if you want to learn how to build your own sort of API key, etc. If you want to build your own tool, SaaS tool that runs off an API key, then that's exactly how you can do it using 4.1, GPT 4.1 and root code. Beautiful. Works really quickly and easily. I would still improve the API, I would still improve the UI on the page. Like it's not great, but it does the job, and that was super easy and simple to do, right? Then you can get it hosted. Just going to delete that API key over here, revoke that. And there we go. All right. Now, if you want to build games as well, so let me show you an example. We can grab this prompt. Then we'll go over to Visual Studio Code. I'm just going to open up a new folder over here. So what you can do is you click on Open Folder, click New Folder, type in whatever you want, open that up. Then we'll go over to root code, make sure we've got GPT 4.1 set up, and ask it to start generating that code for us. So it's coding that out right here. This will give us a P5.js, and then we can preview that on the website in a sec. So we've got that ready to go, I believe. There we go. All right, so if we now go to, I don't think that's going to run, is it? Is that actually going to run inside Recode? Yeah, I can't see that running directly. Let's close that. I think you'd have to go to P5.js to preview this. Then we'll hit play on that, and boom, look at that. We got this ready to go. So we have a dinosaur game ready to go. It looks pretty nice, to be fair. Actually, that's better than the windsurf output, to be honest. It looks a lot nicer. And we just coded it with one shot, one take Drake. Pretty good if you ask me. So it's simple stuff. All you do is you type in your prompt into root code, ask it to generate a game with the P5.js using 3.js. Then you're going to get the code from here, go back to p5js.org, plug in the code, hit play, boom, shakalaka. You got endless hours of entertainment from Julian Goldie right there. And then if we press R to restart, we can restart and play that, all right? Nice and easy. Nice and easy. And again, if you want to do that for free, just go inside Windsurf, all right? So that's basically how to build anything using GPT 4.1. I've shown you how to build websites, tools that run on API keys, how to build stuff inside the chat, how to connect this to the internet, and also how to build games with this as well. All right, we've got all the SOPs inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Feel free to check it out. Link in the comments description. This is an amazing community focused on making more money and saving time with AI. Also comes with weekly Q&As. So if you want to jump on the weekly Q&As, ask any questions you have, you can. If you miss them, they get recorded. You can watch them back inside the classroom right here. So all the Q&A call recordings are stored right here, as you can see. And additionally, inside the community here, you can ask 671 members for help, tips, etc. whenever you need it. And we're just constantly updating this, as you can see. And inside the classroom, this also comes with all my best courses on like social media and video automation, email and content automation. Additionally, we've got AI agents and workflows. Like there's so much stuff in there. It's absolutely redonkulous, my friend. So if you want to get all this stuff, feel free to get it inside the AI Profit Boardroom. And if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session that shows you how to get more free leads, sales, and customers to your website, feel free to get that. We'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visitors a month using SEO. And this will give you a free custom tailored game plan to generate more lead sales and profits from Google directly based on what's working for us and our happy clients, like you can see right here. Right, feel free to get that. link in the comments and the description. What we got here in the questions is Rucode better than Cursor? I prefer Rucode. I do have Cursor. I think I've still got a bit of the premium plan left, but honestly, for me, I prefer Rucode. It's just much better, faster, easier. I feel like Cursor is built for developers, and I'm definitely not a developer. John says everything is absolutely insane. Kate says, would it be possible to not have the website not powered by AI? Yeah, you can just, you just ask it not to put the API key in. And then Milan says, is that a good way to keep API token security? Because there's always a different key. I do it because I'm on YouTube. It's very different. If you're not on YouTube showing stuff, then you don't need to worry about all that stuff really. But it's always good practice to keep your API key secure, not share that stuff, etc. Mainly just because you don't want it to get rinsed, right? But also you can set a limit on your API keys as well, so that people can't spend on it, etc. Is Lindy the best for building AI conversational customer support agents, or what do you think is the best, easiest way? So if you actually check out the AI Profit Boardroom, you'll see how we automated with AI the best ways to do that, right? So if you want to get like some SOPs and tutorials on that, just check out the AI Profit Boardroom and you'll see exactly how we set up customer service support agents. Because there's better ways to do it. Honestly, Lindy is pretty cool, but there's much better ways to do it. So if you want to check that out, just jump in the AI Profit Boardroom. And Trey says, I would even pay you to create one for me if you're open to that. How can I reach you? Yeah, so if you actually click the link in the comments description, you'll see the link for AI automation. And you can just book in a call there if you want to sign up as a client. We work with a lot of clients doing AI automation. So if you want to learn how we do it, and if you want to become a client yourself, then just check that link and book in a call. Happy to help you. GPT 4.1 versus Claude versus Gemini. Today, we're going to be testing out which AI is the best model, who wins using exactly the same prompts, and side by side, we'll compare which one is the best for coding. Okay, so the way that we're going to test this is you can actually get access via openrouter.ai. GPT 4.1, it just came out a few hours ago. It's like 4 hours ago it came out, as you can see right here. and it is available in the API. There are 3 different models, but I think to be fair to ChatGPT, we'll use 4.1, the main one, not Nano or Mini, and then we'll compare that using Claude and Gemini, like you can see, and we'll be running some different prompts on it directly. All right. Now, these prompts, they're going to be from the AI Profit Boardroom if you want to get access to them. So if you want to steal everything from me, feel free to get access inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Also comes with a new module on how to build anything using ChatGPT 4.1. So if you just go to the classroom and then go to SOPs, you'll see that we have many different SOPs on how to build anything that you want with GPT 4.1, including how to do it for free inside here directly, right? Brand new module. I don't know anyone else on the internet who's got that much information on it already. All right, so what we're going to do from here is we're going to start running some prompts and side by side comparing each of one of these. And the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to say, for content creation, write a humorous 1,500 word blog post on Google's next algorithm will ruin your life or not. All right. And we'll do that inside Claude. We'll do that inside Gemini as well. Now, I could use the API key and try and generate code for each of these as well. That's another way to do it. Or I could go inside AI Studio as well directly and use Gemini 2.5 Pro. So if you go to chat over here and then go to Gemini 2.5 Preview, you could also do it that way as well. But we'll compare side by side which one of these is the best for coding, writing, etc. So we've got the content back. The first thing that I would say, right, is a ChatGPT 4.1 is so much more powerful for speed, right? If you look at the speed of the response, it's way quicker than the thinking model from 2.5, and also Claude is still writing out there as well, right? So if you just want something super fast, then GPT 4.1 is probably the best option. All right, so let's have a look at this content. Google's next algorithm update will ruin your life or not. Let's face it, the only thing SEOs dread more than running out of coffee is hearing the phrase Google's next algorithm update is coming. For webmasters, marketers, bloggers, etc., anyone who's tried to sell a t-shirt online, rumors about updates are enough to prompt a cold sweat in 14 tabs of SEO. Yeah, this is really, really nice copywriting, like super nice. And we gave it minimal prompting, right? We just said, do this, and it wrote the content. I would honestly say that's some of the most humanized content that I've ever read from AI. We have a look at Claude. This is not bad, but it's a little bit over the top. So it's like, is your strategy about to implode? Are you stockpiling canned goods and building a digital bunker? Before you panic, let's talk about Google's algorithm update and separate fact from fiction. It's not as good as 4.1. It doesn't flow quite as easily, but it's not bad. And let's have a look at Gemini 2.5 Pro. So it didn't even write a title or that sort of thing. Okay, deep breaths, everyone, put the emergency cafe. I mean, the first sort of line is not even about the update. It doesn't even make sense. In fact, let's have a look here. It doesn't mention the update until paragraph 3. So it's not that relevant, right? This just goes off on a random tangent, creates the content, and it's not bad, but it's nowhere near as good as 4.1 for writing content. Like, this just feels a lot more natural and human. Let's test this out now for bypassing AI detectors. So, I mean, there was really minimal prompting here, but we're going to plug this into Zero GPT and just see how it performs and detects this text for AI detection. We will come on to some coding tasks later. So let's run detect text on that bad boy, see how it performs. So it comes out at 100% human written, right? The AI detector can't detect it at all. Now let's test that inside Claude. So this is the content from Claude. Again, so far, ChatGPT 4.1 is winning on humanization and also on just readability of the content. It tends to write better content and also speed, right? This comes out at 10.96% AI detectable, so it's a lot more detectable than GPT 4.1. Now let's come on to Google Gemini 2.5 Pro. We'll copy that content and we'll plug it in right here, hit detect text, and see how that performs. All right, so that's coming out at 1.89% detectable. So if we had to put these in order, right, so far, this is pretty crazy. GPT 4.1 is winning on actually writing content, like the content itself is pretty good. It's winning on speed, so it replied faster than Claude and Gemini 2.5 Pro. And additionally, it's winning on humanization. So, Claude came out at 10.96, AI detectable. Gemini 2.5 Pro came out at 1.89% AI detectable, and ChatGPT's content actually came out 0% AI detectable. And again, like, you can get this on OpenRouter if you want to get the API and the details. So it's pretty impressive so far. That is very, very impressive. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do some coding tasks on this. I know everyone loves Gemini 2.5 Pro for coding. I think everyone is saying that's probably the best right now. So we'll compare them side by side. And I'm sure whatever I post here, whatever I do, even if I show you on the screen what I'm doing, people will hate me for doing these tests. And, some people will be like, oh, no, Gemini 2.5 Pro is the best. Some people will be like, Claude 4.7 is the best, blah, blah, blah. For me, I just do the results live and I focus on facts over opinions. All right. So for me, like, I don't care either way, but I'm just trying to show you and help you. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the old pixelated dinosaur game. Again, all these prompts are inside the AI Profit Boredom if you want to steal them from me. And we're going to copy this and we'll plug it into each one to create a P5JS dinosaur game. All right. And we're using exactly the same prompts each time here, but we're looking at the outputs and saying, okay, which one is clearly better? So let's see what we get back. I mean, it's just crazy fast, isn't it? It's crazy, crazy fast. Gemini's still thinking about it, and Claude is still writing it as well. In the meantime, we're going to open up P5JS editor. So if you want to preview the code that you created with P5JS, just go to editor.p5js.org. And then you'll get the code back. I mean, even ChatGPT 4.1 is taking a long time to respond to that. I think Gemini might be winning on speed here. Let's see what we get back. Claude is working its magic. Yeah, 4.1 has come back to us first, to be fair. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this code. Let's grab that and let's see how 4.1 performs, all right? So we're going to hit a space into like so. Oof. Not bad. It's not bad. I don't like the green on green. Like the UI is a bit weird right there, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all, all right? So that's the game from ChatGPT 4.1. It worked perfectly, did its magic. Gemini 2.5 Pro is still coding this out. We've got the output here, so let's copy that. We'll hit play. I mean, what is that? What is going on here? It doesn't even work. I'm pressing space. So you see here it says press space or tap to start. Doesn't really work. You can see how weird this is. What on earth is going on here? All right, so far Gemini has created the weakest output. What's interesting about this is if you actually did the exact same prompts on the same day that Gemini 2.5 Pro came out, this worked perfectly. This worked beautifully. But now it doesn't seem to work very well at all, which is really weird. But yeah, that's coming in last so far. And let's just test what we got back from Claude here. Just give me the code, mate. I don't want to run it. Why is it? Give me the code. There we go. All right. Let's grab that. So we'll copy this. Then we're going to go over here. We'll plug that in. Doesn't like that. Let's just grab that instead. There we go. All right. You might have to grab it manually if you generate it with Claude. Let's plug that in. And that is not working, Sunshine. Why is that not working? All right. So just to recap here, peeps and peepettes. So ChatGPT did the game perfectly, to be fair. The only thing I didn't like was the UI. But again, it's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, it works. It actually works. And it's not laggy or buggy or anything like that. If we have a look at the response from Claude, Claude didn't work at all. Total trash. That came in last. And then Gemini, super buggy, as you can see. I mean, the game doesn't seem to work properly. You can see the background, etc. It's not that nice, but it comes in second because it does actually work on like Claude's output. So just to recap here, on the coding games test, I'm saying that GPT 4.1 is winning by quite a long way here. And, you know, side by side, it's winning on everything so far, which is crazy. Now, one thing to note here is like the thing that I find is like these models are always best on the first day, and then they tend to get dialed down a little bit from what I can see. Like, you know, Gemini 2.5 Pro, it would have done a lot better before. But it doesn't matter. I'll keep going for you, peeps. I'll keep going for you. So next up, what we're going to do over here is we're going to grab another prompt. And I'm going to say create an interactive water molecule simulation using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So we're going to plug that into OpenRouter. We'll do that inside Gemini 2.5 Pro. I'm going to start a new chat here. Here we go. And then we'll do the same inside Claude as well. Claude is lagging behind drastically actually at the minute. We'll close the P5.js. There we go. There we go. Again, all the prompts are inside the AI Profit Boardroom if you want to steal them from me. So we've got this back. Let's test it out. See what we got back here. So this is from GPT 4.1, and it is total trash. Look at that. That is not doing anything for us. So it has failed on one of the tests. At least you know I'm not being biased here, like I'm just giving you the output. Yeah, terrible, terrible. All right, so let's have a look now. We've got Gemini 2.5 Pro. That's come back to us here. Let's copy this. Oh, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Look at that. We've got the temperature. We can dial it up. We can dial it down. Gemini 2.5 Pro is absolutely smashed it right there. Unbelievable. And Claude as well, to be fair. Claude has done a great job there. I just don't think it's... Let's compare them side by side. Which one is winning here? I'm going to turn that down. Let's dial that down. Calm down, sunshine. There we go. Yeah, it would actually... I'm going to say Claude won that because it's got the simulation legend at the bottom. Whereas, for example, Gemini, it's really good. It does look nice, but it's not giving us that extra UI feature that we want. So I'm going to say Claude won, followed by Gemini 2.5 Pro, and then you've got 4.1 coming in last with something that actually doesn't work at all. So just to recap here, for coding games, 4.11, for coding molecular physics, if you ever fancy doing that on the weekends, then Gemini 2.5 Pro 1. For writing content, 4.11, and for humanizing content, 4.11, as well as for humanization of the content, bypassing AI detectors. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a cheeky little landing page test. This will be the final test here. Let's see what we got. So this will be for an SEO calculator. So I'm going to say create a calculator landing page for the niche SEO calculators, blah, blah, blah. We'll start a new chat here. using 4.1. Single HTML file. Do the same inside Claude. And we'll do the same inside AI Studio as well. And we'll see which one creates the best landing page. By the way, peeps, if you want to use 4.1 for free, then just go inside Windsurf and you can use it for 7 days for free. I will say that's where Gemini 2.5 Pro is winning in many ways. And the same for Claude. Is like Claude and Gemini 2.5 Pro, you can use GPT-4, you can use the latest models for free and code with them for free. So you can use Claude inside the chat, it will code for free, and also Gemini AI Studio.google.com. With OpenRouter, you are going to be paying, right? So this is a paid model, which is, that's a big win. It's like, a lot of people, they want to do things for free. And ChatGPT 4.1 is not going to let you do that. All right. So let's see what we get back. This is building out huge landing pages right here. And we finished on GPT 4.1 is finished again. The fastest as always. Let's copy that. Go back to LiveWeave, plug that in, see what we got. It's not bad. I mean, the UI is not great. Look at that. It's not responsive. I'm not impressed. Not impressed, to be honest with you. You can't even X off the pop-up there. It's just locked me in. All right. I'm going to say, honestly, like the 4.1s, it's going to be easy to beat 4.1, essentially. Let's have a look at this. This is okay. It's not great. I mean, like, if you look at the UI, it's a bit weird. This box doesn't even work, etc. I don't like that. To be honest, I think ChatGPT 4.1 and Claude, both pretty terrible outputs right there, but Claude is probably just edging it. Let's have a look at Gemini 2.5 Pro. It's still working through it like a machine. Well, it is a machine, but let's go through onto LiveWeave now. And that, my friends, that is a landing page. That is much better. I mean, it's not great. It's not amazing, but it does it better for sure in terms of the UI. However, look at this. Placeholder for the interactive keyword calculator tool. You were supposed to code that. So I actually didn't build out the SEO calculator, which is the whole point of the experiment. All right, so here's what I'm going to say. I mean, they all did a terrible job. They all did a terrible job. I'm going to say that Claude probably came in first there. GPT 4.1 came in second because it actually has built the tool, etc. And then Gemini 2.5 Pro came in last. I think, honestly, if you were going to do this test again, the best way to do it would be to code them out individually using root code or something like that, right? So there's a SOP inside the AI Profit Board if you want to learn how to use that. But essentially, I think that would be the best. So overall, which one am I going for? I would say for coding tasks, tough one. I'm going to say Claude. Claude probably for coding tasks. GPT 4.1 for writing tasks. And if you want something for free, then go with Gemini 2.5 Pro. All right, that's my honest opinion. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get a free community that shows you how to make money and save time with AI, feel free to get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Comes with my best prompts, all the prompts from today, etc. If you want to learn how to use and build anything with GPT 4.1, we have a new section right here. As you can see, it comes with all my best SOPs for building anything you want, including how to build for free using GPT 4.1 for the next 7 days. And additionally, you can see it gets updated pretty much every single day with all the latest stuff right here. Additionally, this comes with weekly Q&A calls, so you can ask any Q&A calls you want. I know a lot of people watching this will be trying to launch like an AI automation agency. If that's you, then make sure that you sign up, because we're actually selling AI automation. It's working really well for us. If you want to learn how we sell it, then just join the AI Profit Board and feel free to ask any questions you have inside the community right here. And yeah, feel free to sign up. Price is going up this month, so make sure you sign up now before you miss out. And additionally, if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session that shows you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visits this month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales on autopilot with SEO, feel free to get that. If you want to make more money, get more leads, get more profits, get more sales, get more leads and customers from Google, feel free to get that based on what's working for all our happy clients, like you can see right here. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.